Have you ever wondered about the message of Jesus Christ, the gospel message of Jesus Christ? Do I really know what that even means? Is Jesus even real? Can we really have a real relationship with him? It just feels like he's so far away. What about why didn't he stop that? Or why didn't he do this? Or God is not a good God. Have you ever had any of those questions? I'm here to talk about that today. I want to share with you who he really is and what his message is really about, because I think so often we are so confused. So welcome at Seeds to Trees. Sheila here today. I hope you're having a great day. And this is not the video I woke up to do today, but God had other plans, and how appropriate that it is the first Friday of 2025. And this is the message he starts out with. So if he's starting out like this, I can't wait to see what this year is going to be, because this is the passion of my heart. Everything I do, everything I say, everything I share, I want to come back to this one message. This one message, the message of Jesus Christ and how he transforms lives that come to him. He is real. He is so real. I never imagined my relationship with him could be so real. But I'm telling you, it is life-changing. It changes everything in your life. And I want to invite you to come along with me as we just explore deeper and deeper what that means. So today, I started typing and he just continued to give me things. So I will be pretty much reading this because I want to stay on task. I don't want to keep you any longer than I have to. And I get very excited when I start talking about this. So today I want to share something truly transformative, and that's the message of Jesus Christ, who he is and what his purpose means for all of us. Too often, our understanding of Jesus is heavily influenced on secondhand information. Think about what I'm saying. Where have you learned most of what you've learned about Jesus? It's probably been from a parent, an aunt, a grandmother, a mentor, or a preacher, or a Sunday school teacher, someone like that in your life that is trying to share that with you. And that is what we're supposed to do. But that's all secondhand information. I want to talk to you today about firsthand information from Jesus himself. Okay? That is what I call a firsthand relationship with Jesus. That is why it is said throughout his word, relationship with Jesus is what matters. So we're going to be talking about that today. I would just love if we could all grasp the whole of Jesus. And I don't know that we will ever this lifetime get to know the whole of Jesus. He is that big. He is that much. He is that grand. He is that awesome. The more I know of him, the more I see I have only begun to scratch the surface. He is so unlike anything here. It is so different and so grand and so great that we get to be a part of that. So, but what if we could grasp a little bit more each day to understand his purpose and his incredible love for us? What would that change? Who would that change? What family lines would that change? Generations down would be changed because he changed me, or he changed you, or he changed your daughter or parent or whatever. So let's begin by resetting our view of Jesus. Some people grew up, or even now see him as an eye in the sky, that this authority that is just waiting for us to mess up because we cannot fulfill all of his laws, all of his rules and regulations. That so many people think that he is just looking to strike you down and kick you off, saying, you couldn't do it, get out, that's not real. And then there's no protection. There's no perfection, not protection. It's impossible for us to measure up to Jesus's perfection. It's impossible. He says that. We have to realize that. He doesn't expect us to be perfect. He expects us to be progressing, not perfect. So Jesus came into the sinful and broken world for a reason, and that reason is rooted in great love for us. Jesus lived among us, fully aware of all of our struggles, our pain, and the brokenness of the world. He chose to die on that cross, not for his own sin. And to get what I said there, he chose to come and die. He chose to come and die, not for his sin, because he had none. He was sinless. He came to die for my sin, your sin, and the sins of all mankind. Even those that we think may not really deserve any grace from God. You know, I think of the worst pedophile and child murderer. That is the most heinous thing I can think of. And when I think about that, Jesus says, but I came for him too. That love blows me away. It's hard for me to have that kind of love for people, but he does. He does. So even the ones farthest away, he came for those too. The purpose of his sacrifice is great. Jesus became our forever substitute sacrifice. He took on all the weight of all the sin, past, present, and future, that I would ever do, that you would ever do, that all people would ever do. Think about this. He didn't just come and do that. He wasn't just born in a manger at Christmas time. Jesus left heaven. Jesus was already in heaven with God, living the perfect life, okay? He chose to come down, go through all that he went through for you and me, to have a relationship back with the Father, with him, and with the Holy Spirit, who is God. He came for that reason. That's the reason he came. Not because he was lonely, not because he needed us to do his work. He came because he wanted a relationship with each one of us. Now, here's an essential truth that many struggle with. Jesus did not come to die and rise again merely to show us that he loved us. Now listen, hear me out. He chose to lay down his life because that was the only way for a perfect and holy God to come back into a full-on personal relationship with us, who will always not be perfect. We will always not get it right. We live in a very broken world, and we will continue to stumble. But he knows the hearts of those that are trying, those that are his hearts, that want to thank him for what he's done and to live for him because they realize what he has really done for them. Sin created a separation from God and from man. So it's like light is God, darkness is man. Okay, just to make it very simple, darkness and light cannot coexist at the same time. Okay, they can, but in different places. There was a huge gap between God and man. That is why all through the Old Testament, there had to be sacrifices made, blood sacrifices. Okay, that's a whole lot of theology to get into today. But what I'm telling you is all of those animals that were sacrificed, all of the different things they had to do to sacrifice to get back into the holiness of God in the tabernacle, Jesus took care of all of that when he came. No more will we have to sacrifice animals. No more will we have to sacrifice. He was the ultimate sacrifice for all of mankind from the day he was on the cross. Okay? That's done. It's over. He took care of it. Aren't we glad? Aren't we glad? So with his sacrifice, Jesus created a way for us, me and you, to know God personally and intimately. It's essential that we understand this fact. Jesus took our judgment with him to the cross, and his blood took care of it. Just like the animal's blood, Jesus' blood took care of all the sins of the world for those that would choose him. But let me emphasize this crucial point. Jesus did not endure the cross simply so that you and I could go to heaven when we die. Please, please, please hear me on this. I think so many, even sitting in churches every Sunday and Wednesday nights, believe that this is the gospel. That if we are faithful to church, that if we walk the aisle, if we say this sentence prayer that we say, we believe Jesus was real, we believe Jesus walked on the earth, we believe Jesus died on the cross, and we believe Jesus went back to heaven. If we believe all those things, then all we have to do is say, yeah, we believe that. And then we get a ticket to heaven when you die. Nothing more to be done. I want to challenge you on that. I want to challenge you on that. Because if we go and live a life exactly like the life that we had before, only now we call ourselves a Christian because we have a ticket to heaven now. And we know that God's going to forgive us of anything that we ask for forgiveness for. So I can go and, whatever your sin of choice is, and then come back and say, oh, forgive me, I'm a Christian, forgive me, and go on about your day and everything's fine. That's not salvation. That's not the gospel. Okay? That is not the gospel of Jesus Christ that's preached in the Bible. We can simplify it down to leave a whole part out. I'm going to let you sit with that for a minute. If that's the extent of your belief, thinking that the afterlife is the main goal, after this life is over, then you get to go to heaven or hell, whichever I choose. I chose to say the prayer, so and get baptized and join the church and go to church, so I get to go to heaven. You may have missed the whole essence and true meaning of the gospel message. So I want to challenge you to listen to the rest of this and go to the Word yourself. Begin to ask Jesus, is what I have really what it's all about? I want to challenge you with that. So often we see all over America today, in church, all kinds of churches, what I would call a counterfeit gospel, I think. And that's like, like I am anti-church and that I don't believe that churches are preaching the true gospel. That is not at all what I'm saying. Don't hear what I'm not saying. I do believe that there are so many more churches that are preaching God's way, the best they know how. And they are trying to get it in a way that their congregation will understand it. But I do know that there are others that are focused more on what can Jesus do for me? What can Jesus do for us? And that focus often comes with a really close version of the gospel, but it's me focused, not God focused. That's a big difference because Jesus' gospel message is not at all me focused. Now, when we find it, it's all about what he does in me. But it's all about him and me desiring what he has for me. So we have counterfeit gospels going on, a version of Christianity that focuses solely on escape from hell rather than on a relationship with Jesus. Okay? What I'm saying there is so many think when you say, I've been saved, or do you have a relationship with Jesus, they think, yes, I got saved. I go to church. Okay? That doesn't mean you really have a relationship with Jesus. Salvation is opening the door for that relationship. That means Jesus has unlocked that door. But that doesn't mean that you have invited him in yet. And there's many verses that tell us that on that day, when you stand before him, many will say, this is in the book of John, many will say, Lord, Lord. And he will say, I never knew you. And they'll say, but didn't we do this? And didn't we go to church? And didn't we, pack bags for the needy? And didn't we do all these things? My whole life was doing things for you. And he will still look at them and say, but I never knew you. Think about that. What a day that would, there's no need for that. There's no need for that. Our life here will be so much better with him, with this relationship. You can know without a shadow of a doubt. The true message of the gospel invites us into a lifelong journey of knowing him, following him, and experiencing Jesus on the daily, all the time. It's kind of like we walk in the spiritual and the natural all at the same time. It's kind of weird when it starts, but it's the best adventure ever. Jesus came to bridge the gap between our sin and God's perfect holiness. His sacrifice, when he went to the cross and then rose again and went back to heaven, all of that was to give us this invitation. He doesn't demand that you accept him and follow him. It is an invitation. He gave every one of us free will. We get to choose. He is not going to pound you to choose him. He wants you to choose the love that he has for you. You choose. So I honestly and knowingly believe more and more every day, Jesus speaks to every single person in the way that person needs to hear it, see it, understand it, or whatever. I really believe that. And you will know that something in there that you have never realized before, but it is at the deepest of your core. The word says that we have a place inside of us that is where that spirit lives. Peace of God lives. The peace that connects back to him. It is there. Whether you acknowledge it or not, whether you bury it or not, it is there. And he will speak to that place one day. And you will know. This is not normal. And I'm hearing this on a plane I've never heard before. But it's up to you. Say, nope, I'm going to do it my way. Or to say, okay, Jesus, I hear you. I don't know what this is about, but I want you. I want you to show me what my life was designed to be. So Jesus came to bridge that gap. It's an invitation for us to become present in intimacy with our Savior and our Creator, our Lord, our God, our everything. He designed everything in this world, including you. He knows the plans he had for you before you were ever formed, as you were forming in your mother's womb, Jeremiah says. So I invite you today to seek Jesus with all that you have. Explore a relationship with him that goes beyond what you ever thought possible. You might have a friend or a spouse or whatever, your person, as we say, that you can tell everything to. But let me tell you, this relationship will 100,000 times that relationship. Because he's always there, 24/7, whenever we call. We can never go too far that he's not looking for us to come back. So open your heart today, embrace his love, and rediscover or discover today the power of God and the true gospel message of Jesus Christ today. I'm so thankful that you kept watching. I hope you found this message meaningful, provoking, maybe. And I want you to consider sharing it with a friend, a family member, somebody maybe who's on the fence about Jesus, who maybe used to believe and doesn't believe anymore. Let's share it. I challenge you today. I challenge you in this new year, 2025, make this year different. I can tell you your life will change upside down and inside out for the best if you choose Jesus. He will lead you. He will guide you. He will help you. He will hold you. He will drag you through the pit when you can't even stand. Believe me, I've been all of those places. And if I could tell anybody the one thing that I wish for everybody and that I pray for everybody is to come to know this personal and intimate relationship with Jesus Christ. It's for you today. Just sit down and ask him. There are no words you have to say. There are, no special words. Just sit down and talk to Jesus like I'm talking to you today. Say, Jesus, she says you're real. She acts like you're real. She gets really excited about you being real. Will you be real to me today? Will you show me what that looks like? When you seek him, he gives you more than you will ever ask for. I promise you. I have chills all over my body just saying that. I pray for you right now. Reach out. Reach out. He's looking for you. He's coming for you. He loves you. But you have to choose him with everything that you are. Don't leave anything the same. Love you. Thank you. Share, subscribe, do all the things. Help me out here. Love y'all. Bye.